If you want to empty your bank account, you can buy a Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra or an iPhone 16 Pro Max. But the question is, which one is a better choice? I am Mo, and I'm going to do a day in the life comparison of the phones, including battery, camera, and gaming test. I started the day around 10 in the morning. The first thing that is very noticeable when comparing the screens of the phones is that the S25 Ultra is anti-reflective. This really makes a big difference when you use the phone outside on a bright, sunny day. The corners of the frame on the iPhone 16 Pro Max are curved, and the screen is flat. The S25 Ultra's frame is not as curved as the iPhone 16 Pro Max, but fortunately, the screen is also completely flat. The Galaxy has these new camera rings on the back, but they are not my cup of tea. Both phones use titanium in their frame and are pretty durable. It was my lucky day and my neighbor's cat showed up briefly in the yard, so I could take a video of him with 10 times zoom. I do feel at this zoom level, the Galaxy S25 Ultra does a better job, and there are many more details on the kitty cat. That's the same with the 10 times zoom picture, where the S25 Ultra's picture is sharper and better looking. The iPhone also does a decent job, but the picture is a bit soft for my taste. I also decided to play YouTube on Wi-Fi for around half an hour in the background. During the day, I'm going to put both phones at the same brightness level to have a fair battery comparison. The lock screen on the OneUI 7 on the Galaxy S25 Ultra is very similar to that of iOS 18. But the beauty of the S25 Ultra is the fingerprint scanner, which helps when your phone is in a weird position, while on iPhone 16 Pro Max, you only have face unlock. Both phones are very fast with the latest and best processors out there. I do feel that the Galaxy S25 Ultra is a tad snappier, but maybe it is only my imagination or due to faster animations. The app drawer also couldn't look more similar now, and it seems like both operating systems are becoming more and more alike. For the quick settings on both phones, you have to drag from the top right corner, and I'm still not used to it on the Galaxy. For accessing the notification center on the Galaxy, you can swipe down from anywhere. But on the iPhone, you have to swipe from only top left corner. Also, on the Galaxy, you can switch between quick settings and notifications by swiping left and right, but on the iPhone, you can't. The iPhone has this dynamic island on top that you can interact with. For example, when you minimize your music app, it will show it at the top, and you can open the app again by clicking on it. On Samsung, the lock screen now has a Now bar that gives you daily briefs and other information. When you are playing music, it also shows on the Now bar, which is neat. The iPhone didn't lose any battery percentage, while the Galaxy is down 3%. I then went outside to the Birds Park to take photos and videos. Both phones are on the same 5G network. Last month, Hohem sent me this gimbal to test, and to add some flavor to the review, I decided to use it to compare the cameras in this section. Let's start by testing the S25 Ultra's camera. Just a few words about this gimbal. It is called Hohem ICD M7. It also has an AI tracker that I will show you later. I'm now shooting with the Galaxy S25 Ultra selfie camera. Let's also change to the main lens. And you can also shoot with the main lens. One cool thing about it is that it also has a camera in front, so I can see myself. I can also detach this camera if I want to shoot from a distance. I can also simply do this, and then there's an AI tracker in the front, so it is now tracking my face, and I can also tell it to stop tracking my face, so it will stop tracking my face, so I can do whatever I want. Let's start tracking my face again. It is a really cool device. Let's now check the mics and main cameras of the phones. Now I'm shooting with the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I should say something to test the microphone. The AI tracker is quite cool actually. I am liking it more than I thought I would. It's really fun to use it. Also, there is a screen already here, so I can see how do I look like on the camera. I'm again on the Galaxy S25 Ultra main lens. One thing that I really miss about the Galaxy S24 Ultra is the Bluetooth module on the S Pen. I really love that feature. I used to control my camera in this exact situation all the time, shooting a lot of videos with it. I do feel that the S25 Ultra handled the exposure better. For pictures on 5x telephoto lens and portrait mode, again, the S25 Ultra is less exposed, and the skin tone looks more accurate. For the main lens, the iPhone picture is on the darker side. As Victor wrote in the last video, the S25 Ultra feels like how your happy friends see the world, and the iPhone looks like how your sad friends see it. To push the phones to the limit and get the best footage, I'm now going to shoot in log profile. I also added an ND filter to capture at the proper shutter speed to maintain the natural look of the scene. I linked everything I used in the description below. The log implementation of Apple ProRes has been out for some time already since they published the documentation with the iPhone 15 Pro. It is easy to color grade it in any software, including Adobe Premiere Pro. I then put the ND filter on the S25 Ultra to take a similar video. ND filters are like sunglasses for your camera, and they are essential on a super sunny day. I was surprised by how great the image looked after color grading it on the Galaxy S25 Ultra, and having log was the only feature stopping me from using this phone for shooting part of my YouTube videos. I also took a picture of this bird with 20 times zoom doing some sort of mating ritual. Here I again prefer the Galaxy shot. Both phones have something like a cinematic mode, where they blur the background. I also tracked the bear using the Gimbal's AI tracker to keep it in focus. Apart from the vividness of the S25 Ultra's video, compared to the muted colors of the iPhone 16 Pro Max, I feel the iPhone is doing a better job in general, while the Galaxy loses focus from time to time. I finished shooting the video, left the gimbal at home, and took a train to the center of Vienna. When I got on the train, the Galaxy had 76% battery left, while the iPhone had 88%. Usually, the Galaxy loses more battery in the first 50%, so I wouldn't worry yet. The Galaxy has this new ultra-wide lens, but to be frank, I'm not sure how much better it is than the previous one. Here, the lamps are too purple on the S25 Ultra, and the iPhone's picture is more balanced. In this telephoto image, the iPhone has these ugly green dot reflections all over the lens, which ruins the image. By the time I went out, it was already night, and the Galaxy had 62% battery left, while the iPhone had 76% battery left. I then decided to go to the Vienna Opera House to take some pictures and videos at night. On the ultra-wide lens, the main difference I see is in the colors. The building in the background is yellow on the S25 Ultra and orange on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. With the main lens, the difference is less noticeable. The sky is darker black on the S25 Ultra and a bit more purple on the iPhone. For the telephoto lens, the S25 Ultra is sharper and has better processing, in my opinion. On the iPhone 16 Pro Max, I feel some highlights are lost since the photo is slightly overexposed. And for the sky color, again, we can observe that the iPhone's sky is more towards purple and blue, while the Galaxy's is a bit darker. Apple introduced a new filter system for photos in the new iOS, with undertones and a bunch of other useful presets. The Galaxy S25 Ultra also now has a very comprehensive filter system, where you can adjust the color saturation, temperature, contrast, and other settings. You can even apply a specific filter permanently based on your needs. Here I took a picture of the Vienna Opera House using different filters on both phones. The default filters can also be nice, and I recommend testing the presets to find the one you like the most. For video, a lot of people always say that the iPhone is the best among the smartphones. I'm not 100% sure I agree with that, especially with the green reflection issues at night. That said, the footage coming out of the iPhone's standard profile is very pleasing. There is no oversaturation, and the white balance is rather alright. With the Galaxy S25 Ultra, the footage is a bit too saturated. The white balance is also too yellow, and the phone struggles to handle scenes with too many artificial yellow lights. That said, you can avoid all these issues if you shoot in log with the Galaxy S25 Ultra. You can color grade it however you want and recreate the scenes with proper colors and vividness, as you can see here. And of course, you can do the same with the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Capture the footage in log, as I did here, and color grade it based on your taste. The Galaxy has a second 3x telephoto lens that the iPhone lacks. The iPhone only has 3 cameras. Here, with the ultra-wide lens, the Galaxy photo is more realistic, but at the same time, it is a bit more exposed, and some information is missing. For the main lens again, the Galaxy photo is more exposed, and the white balance has more of the yellow tone to it. The iPhone is more contrasty. With 3x zoom, the picture from the Galaxy is better, more detailed, and looks more natural. The iPhone is cropping from the main sensor. For 5x zoom, the iPhone picture is more exposed, while the Galaxy one is darker, but both are similar in terms of details. For more zoom, like 10x zoom, in general, I do find the Galaxy picture better. It is not that the lens is necessarily better, but the Galaxy applies extra processing. For the moonshot, the Galaxy trained a model to enhance the moon picture. The iPhone can also take a moon picture, but there is no extra processing involved. For the selfie camera at night, the Galaxy photo is softer, while the iPhone does less processing, and my face is slightly darker. For video at night, the iPhone still has these green reflections all over the place. In situations like filming in the city, it affects the video quality a lot, and I prefer the Samsung footage. For motion blur with the main lens, they both have similar performance. I don't notice a huge difference between them, and they have both a bit of a motion blur issue. The only phones I've seen that solve this issue are Chinese phones like OnePlus with dual exposure levels. For the telephoto lens motion blur, I do find the Galaxy's performance is slightly better, as the iPhone creates more motion blur. On the other hand, the Galaxy photo is more grainy. I got on the train around 9 p.m. and right now the Galaxy has 56% battery left, while the iPhone has 68% battery left. This is on par with other experiments I've done on these phones. After I got home, I decided to play Genshin Impact on medium settings and 30 frames per second for around 45 minutes on both devices. Both of them handled this situation well without throttling or getting hot. Both the Snapdragon 8 Elite and A18 Pro are power efficient and capable when it comes to playing video games, and I would not worry about either of them if you're a gamer. You simply can't get anything better as of today. By the end of the test, both phones reached a similar temperature. The Galaxy S25 Ultra was only 1 degree hotter than the iPhone, which is nothing alarming. Now, the Galaxy has around 10% less battery compared to the iPhone. I then ran Google Meets on 5G while the phones were talking to each other. After 50 minutes of constant video calls, this time, the iPhone got slightly warmer than the Galaxy S25 Ultra. It is already past midnight, and during the whole test, I used both phones for around 4 hours and 32 minutes of heavy use with a high brightness level. The Galaxy S25 Ultra is now at 22%, while the iPhone is at 38% battery left. I did use the Galaxy for a few minutes more when shooting videos in the morning, but that would not affect the battery by more than 1% or 2%. If you are interested on my personal S25 Ultra, which is different from the phone I'm testing, the S25 Ultra used 68% battery on the day before with 6 hours and 40 minutes of a screen on time with mixed usage, mostly on 5G. What Samsung could have done to be on par with the iPhone was to include a 6000 mAh battery this year, similar to Chinese brands like OnePlus and Vivo X200 Pro. If you enjoyed this video, you can watch the battery and camera comparison of S25 Ultra versus iPhone 16 Pro Max versus OnePlus 13 versus Vivo X200 Pro next. Thanks for tuning in to TechMo, and I will see you in the next one.